Welcome to Llandudno, where, as you can see, it's blue skies and curious faces on the seafront as the 2020 MRF Tyres BTRDA Rally Series prepares to kick into gear. The championship enters a new decade, and with Storm Ciara on her way to batter the UK, we're about to have a storm on some iconic rally stages as well. Reigning champion Ewan Thorburn not back to defend that title, which means we've got previous champions against new pretenders to that throne. Among those, George Lepley. Remember him? He proved himself in just about everything he did so well last season, and we're looking forward to how he goes against our previous champions, including Stephen Petch and Charlie Payne. What a battle we're looking forward to at this opening round and across the 7 rounds of the championship this season. 7 stages kick us off then for the Cambrian Rally, including one formidable stage on gravel tyres on the Great Orme. Shall we get to the stages? George, you have shown us what you can do in a 4-wheel drive, and of course you showed us what you could do in every other drivetrain and category last year as well. You're really bringing a challenge this year. I've got a feeling about that. Yeah,
it should be good. I'm just really looking forward to getting going, to be honest. It's been a long break since the track rod, and yeah, like you say, with the back end of last year to go in a 4-wheel drive car and 2 times on the podium, and obviously won the BTRDA event on the Woodpecker. So yeah, a great start to my 4-wheel drive debut, but yeah, looking forward to getting going today.
We go back out onto those stages then for the very first time in this new decade, and it would be the early lead for Stephen Petch and Michael Wilkinson, back once again in that Fiesta WRC and trying to get their names back on that BTRDA trophy. They open up their campaign with a 7-second advantage. Stephen, the pace looks good out there, but the competition's also pretty good.
Yeah, we had a good first 2 stages, to be honest. I felt really comfortable in the car. Stage 3 we had a puncture and lost 6 mile into the 30 miler, so it dropped us back. But yeah, we're somehow still in the fight with what else has gone on with everybody else, so we'll keep doing what we're doing.
Russ Thompson and Andy Murphy were back again this season as well. The car looked familiar, but there had been some notable changes under that metalwork. Now running in the B13 class and challenging, crucially, for the top of the leaderboard. Second place at this stage was a good way to start that campaign. Well, we're not sure where to look first, whether we should be looking at the B13 or the overall results, Russ.
Yeah, been a pretty good morning considering we've trying to learn the different features of the car, but I'd say in general it's been good. Yeah.
Considering what? It's still fast, it still goes sideways. You're out there fighting though. It was looking pretty good in 2 where we were watching.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, I'm enjoying it, yeah. Just keep going now.
Dylan Davies and Cleon Williams bring the new car out this season, stepping up to an R5 Skoda. Things started off well with the pair in 3rd place, but frustratingly for them, that wouldn't last. They dropped down the order to 23rd by the time they reached service. Pat Naylor and Ian Lawrence make a slightly slower start than they would have wanted. They tried to make up for it on the 2nd stage of the day, as you might have expected, but a few spins would indicate that they were trying a little too hard to make up that time. They do, however, end the morning in 3rd, leading the NR4 class. Fresh set of tyres, you should be able to hold off that charge from Scott now.
I think it's actually the other way around. He was pulling away from us, even though we thought we had a really good first stage. 2nd stage, made a bit of a hash of it. 3rd stage, we saw Scott, and then it's fallen into our hands, really. We haven't won it, it's just he's lost it at the moment. But you know this game, anything can change.
Part of Naylor's reason for that lead in the class, despite the slower start, was down to a puncture for Scott Faulkner and Steve Link. They'd been leading that NR4 battle up to that point, but would sadly for them drop down the order to 16th place overall. And Ian Bainbridge and Dale Bowen returned to the stages in the Skoda that had been debuted on the final rounds of 2019. The pair clearly pushing, so much so that Ian forgot to brake for this hairpin, meaning a rather unusual line around the corner. No damage done other than a few seconds lost for the 4th place pair. Martin and Dawn England were well and truly on it in 5th. Back again for another season and starting as they meant to go on. Some great times on the board from the husband and wife pair through the morning stages. There's some early attrition though as we lose Matthew Hurst and Declan Deer. The Mitsubishi Evo pair being one of many to get caught out in stage 3, leaving the road unable to continue the rally. And here it starts. Stage 3 would also lose as one of our previous Gold Star champions. Charlie Payne and Patrick Walsh also ending their event early in the Penmachno stage. While all that had been going on, things had been going well for this man, Ian Joel. Graham Wood alongside him in that Escort Cosworth. So well, in fact, that they led the rally by the end of stage 3. Sadly for them, that great start would come to an end when they gave the car a little bit of cosmetic rearranging, shall we say, on the Great Orme stage, losing them some time, dropping them to 6th place. And mixing up all of the four-wheel drive crews on the leaderboard at the midpoint in the rally would be Shane McGeer and Denver Rafferty, the B12 class pair up as high as 7th place by the time they reached service. It would be fellow Silver Star crew Andy Davison and Tom Murphy taking up 9th, the category featuring some strong contenders who were fighting in the main overall leaderboard at this opening round as well. For Carl Simmons and Mark Glenister, meanwhile, it would be 9th. A puncture early into the second stage of the day would see them lose some time, but they do get through, which was more than could be said for some. So rounding out the top 10 at this stage would be George Lepley and Tom Woodburn. Some high expectations on the shoulders this weekend. They're forced to stop and change a puncture though in stage 3. Early disaster, losing them around 3 minutes. They do make up for it with the fastest time on the Great Orme stage. Not bad for the first time on asphalt in a number of years. So the morning stages are complete here on the Cambrian Rally. Dramatic as always at this opening round. The results at the top of the Gold Star category are starting to shape up, and they're looking like this. After the drama of the morning stages here in Wales, then we're into the afternoon, and we'd see a good finish for Max Bradshaw and Ocean Owen. Max's first time on the gravel. The pair had been seated right at the back of our entry today, ending the rally with 14th place in the category, 4th in B13. That is not bad at all. Sasha Kakad and James Aldridge rejoined the championship this season in the Fiesta, and they end the event 10th place overall. Not quite the finish that they would have wanted, but considering that they crashed out of this rally last year, it was a good, solid finish with some points on the board. And as was looking like being the case with that fantastic pace this morning, the final leaderboard would see one of our Silver Star crews in the BTRDA featuring in the top 10 overall. Andy Davison and Tom Murphy taking that top spot, ending the rally 9th place. It would be Carl Simmons and Mark Glenister in 8th. Without that earlier puncture, things could have been different, and they would, of course, be ruining that all the way home. Now they have to reset and come back out fighting on the next round, and you could bet they will be. The car might look more menacing for a few battle scars, but sadly for Ian Joel and Graham Wood, there would be no climbing back up the leaderboard in the afternoon. The damage had been done with that wall on the Great Orme, on the times and on the car, as you can see. They end the rally in 7th place, overall 3rd in the class. And second in that class would be Russ Thompson and Andy Murphy, themselves suffering with a puncture in the afternoon stages, dropping them down the order and into 6th. It would, though, be a fantastic comeback for George Lepley and Tom Woodburn after that earlier puncture. They managed to get themselves and that WD-40 Evo up to 5th place overall, taking the B13 class victory. They would certainly have wanted to be higher on the overall leaderboard, but given the issues that they'd had, this would be a great opening round. Another puncture, though, would be in store for Pat Naylor and Ian Lawrence in the afternoon stages. Thankfully for them, it doesn't stop them bagging the NR4 victory this weekend, with 4th place overall to boot in their Evo. We're on to our first podium of the year then, and it will be a 3rd place finish for Martin and Dawn England. They take that position with an 8-second advantage over Naylor by the finish. And believe me, if you'd have offered them that at the start of the day, they would have taken it. For Ian Bainbridge and Dale Bowen, it will be a strong 2nd place, challenging for the top of the leaderboard where they wanted to be, of course, and showing themselves as a contender for the overall title this season. another one. But all of this, of course, means that it's a faultless performance and a well-deserved victory. Opening the scoring sheets with maximum points here at the opening round, Stephen Petch and Michael Wilkinson. Their bid to get a title once again here in the BTRDA, getting off to the best possible start. It wasn't a trouble-free weekend, but they get to the finish with over a minute of a lead and surely brimming with confidence here in Llandudno. So before we get all the reaction from our rally winners, here's a reminder of the final overall results in the Gold Star category here in the MRF Tyres BTRDA Rally Series at the opening round. Stephen, Michael, what a way to start 2020.
Yeah, it was a brilliant day, to be fair. Exactly how we wanted it to go. It was difficult on stage 3. We had a puncher and lost a chunk of time, but so did everybody else on stage 3. So yeah, we've stuck to it, put some decent times in and got a good result, yeah.
Coming into this, Michael, we were talking about former champions versus the new pretenders to the throne, and it was a battle we were all looking forward to. There are some new pretenders to the throne, Ian Bainbridge for one. It looks like it's going to be one heck of a season to be watching out on the stages and at home, and probably from inside that car.
Oh God, yeah, it's going to be a brilliant season. Like I say, there is some new contenders there. It was nice to actually get the better of them on level playing field. So we were quicker than them in a lot of the stages today anyway, even with that puncture. So it's nice to get the win as well.
Well, I'm sure that one will live with you for a little while, at least until round 2, and we'll see you there.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Our former champion then, Stephen Petch, with Michael Wilkinson alongside, comes out of the blocks fighting in 2020. But you've seen on the stages today on the Cambrian that he's not going to have it all his own way. We're looking forward to round 2 and indeed the rest of the season. I'm sure you are as well, and we'll have more coverage each round of the 2020 MRF Tyres BTRDA Rally Championship. We'll see you next time.